So next on our list here is bluing our barrel and our tang. So what we're going to do first here is get a cotton ball and soak it with some rubbing alcohol. And we're going to wipe down the barrel, ooh, a little too much, and the tang. This is going to make sure that anything that's been around the shop that may have gotten on it isn't going to be on it. And this is going to make sure our bluing goes on nice and evenly. It's really hard to do that without the surface being clean. So we want to make sure that we're getting every part of this barrel clean. So we're going to hit it with this alcohol and then wipe it off. I imagine for this we don't need the nipple in there, so we're going to pop him out. And I'm going to hit the muzzle here too. We don't want the bluing to go down into the muzzle, so we're going to stick a paper wad in there just to keep that from happening. It's really hard right now to get a 90% or higher rubbing alcohol, so I'm just using some 70 right now, but it's still pretty potent. I'm making sure to get the ends. Okay. And now I'm just wiping it down with this paper towel just to make sure that we get it dried off. Got the tang here. We're going to be using Brownell's Oxpho blue. This was just a liquid gun blue. It's a cold bluing. It's got a long list of directions here, so we're going to follow the directions to re-blue an entire gun. Now, I'm not sure how much of this Oxpho blue we're going to need, so I'm going to get my, just like I did with my brass black, I'm going to get my separate container out here, and I'm just going to pour in a little bit. Now I'm going to put on my second glove here too, just in case. So I've put some paper towel on the end of my muzzle here just to keep that blue from going down in there. We don't need it down in the barrel. So I'm just going to set that to the side now. I'm going to test this on our tang first. I'm checking the instructions quite a bit here because I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go, but we're going to have to jump right into it. Try to cover the whole piece. There you can see it acting. That's pretty nifty. Huh. Just like the brass black, it's almost instantaneous here how it goes. A couple spots here in the corner it's not really hitting, so I'm going to keep rubbing it. Make sure we really coat this puppy. We're going to let that guy sit and try our barrel. I'm going to grab it from the breech down here where we've got this tang hook. And here we go. I'm going to try to run down the whole facet that I'm working on. Each time. That way we get a nice even coat. And we'll go in and polish up the muzzle next. I'm not too worried about that muzzle since I don't... Ooh, I just touched it there. It's probably not good. Since I don't see that, we want to make sure we get an even coat. This guy. We're going to see a lot more of this end of it than the muzzle end. Oh shoot, we've got the barrel rib too that we probably need to blue. Forgot about that. I'm just kind of spinning it down here with the to get the muzzle. So I have a nice dark color in the rear, but towards the muzzle there didn't coat as well. So we're gonna go back in for another coat. I like the color that we have. I would just like it everywhere, you know? I'm going to set this down now. We're going to do the same thing to the barrel rib. This is a piece that I have kind of forgotten about, to be honest with you, in all the hustle and bustle. This goes underneath the barrel and holds our ramrod pipes. Also gives us kind of that classic Hawken look. Let's take a look at our tang. See, that guy doesn't look too bad, I don't think. This is pretty nerve-wracking. Taking this that you've worked hard on and then drastically changing its color. This is about how the brass blacking went for me. Nervous, big changes, not sure what was going on. But we're going to learn along the way. To our barrel here, wipe it dry. I'm liking the color. It says that you can go darker. Got little spots there on the underside. But so we have a nice blued barrel now. Some spots out here I'm going to try to hit again. Just to get that to even up a little bit. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and burnish. I just really want that, the underside of the muzzle here on this end will be kind of exposed, and I'd like it to look kind of uniform. That's why I'm being so picky about it, is that can be seen, and we want it to look nice. And we're not using number 0 steel wool here. I'm just using that same Scotch-Brite that I would have used, that I did use on the brass parts. You can see it hitting that with this Scotch-Brite is taking it kind of to a dark gray. It's not as uniform as I would like, so I'm going to get out another cotton ball, soak it up, and we're going to hit this again. See if we can, there we go. Get everything. I think that first round I didn't have all the alcohol off of there. Flip it over. I'm touching up the ends that I use to hold after I'm done, just to make sure they soak some of that up too. So if you're worried about it being too dark, you can take your Scotch-Brite and hit it some, and see, there we get kind of a nice smoky gray. That looks pretty good. I like that. It's enough to have a little color on there, but it's nothing, nothing crazy. Then we can coat it again like this and get some more depth of color. Okay, I'm learning something now. So much like our brass, we're going to want to try to make this stuff kind of match so that it feels like it's from the same gun. Hit our barrel some with this Scotch-Brite. And with that, it's kind of neat because it really hits the edges of the barrel, which gives you some contrast. The flats are a little bit different color than the edges, so you get a kind of a neat color there. I'm pretty pleased with that, just as it is. I like this too, bluing these, because it's a mass-produced barrel. You'll notice, especially if you have one of these, is there's a lot of safety information here on the side, which definitely needs to be there. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but this kind of blends it into the barrel a little bit more than when it was in the white. So that kind of gives us, the antique feel. So I want to look at that next to our tang, see how that looks. So that's not too bad. We can hit the tang some here, brighten it up. Yeah. And there we're pretty close. A little bright. Touch it again some. Let that stand and we'll hit the barrel rib again. Now with the barrel rib and the tang, I guess I could have hooked the tang in to the barrel and attached the barrel rib, but I think it's nice doing them separate because you know that you're getting everything coated. This way I'm not going to have any weird splotches or bright spots, and if you take the gun apart, it'll all be even, and that makes me happy. So there we go, there's our barrel rib. It's gotten the same treatment that our barrel has. It looks pretty gosh darn good. Wow. I really felt like that was going down the tube there when we started. It looked like we had a real mess, but I'm pretty pleased. Shoot. Well, there you go. There's your blue barrel. So I am really tickled with how this turned out. I was really nervous putting this on. I didn't have probably as much knowledge of how to do this as I should have going into this, but I'm really pleased with the results. I mean, that Brownell's Oxpho blue just was a real simple way to do this, and it's really, I think, going to add some character to this rifle as we put it together. I think this bluing, along with the aged brass that we've got for it, is going to really come together nice. Up next, we're going to be looking at a selection of stains for our stock, and then it's just applying the stain, oiling the stock, and final assembly. So we're really close to finishing up. I hope you've enjoyed the videos so far. I've really enjoyed putting this together. If you have another kit that you'd like to see us put together for a video, comment below what you'd like us to see build, or a builder that you'd like to see us in the shop filming and seeing what they're doing. And we'll see if we can make that happen. Until next time, I think I'm just going to be oogling this blued barrel a little bit. This is great. I am pleased as peaches. Okay, good deal.